know Jack's listening.
It looks all right, Jack. It's just at the back of the field.
Coming around to go green this time, out of turn 4. And Whitchurch, McBain here front row. Up into turn 1 they go. Good start from McBain, and he makes a good run off 2. And he'll lead the field down the back straight for the first time. Whitchurch settles into second place as they head down into turn 3. It's been a pretty clean start all round. Out of turn 4, and it's Chris Breen who's third from Jamie Rolls in 4th place. Tim Herbert rounds out your top 5, but it's been a great start from Hayden McBain. In fact, he's had a great night. He really has been the class act tonight in the wingless sprints. Across the line he goes to complete lap 2, and he has a gap of 1.1 second back to Brad Whitchurch after just 2 laps. So it's a very good start there from Hayden McBain.
Can't do much better than that. Jamie Rolls has got through to 3rd place in the meantime in the 83 car. Made the big move on the inside of Chris Breen last time through turn 4. Breen's now back in 4th place. Behind him it's Team Herbert at this stage. Brad Herbert leading his dad, Tim Herbert, 15 and 28 respectively. But Hayden McBain, 1.8 seconds. I reckon it's more like 2 and a bit now because he's absolutely flying away from these guys. Across the line comes our 2nd place car. It is in fact 2 and a bit. 2.23 to be precise. And the reigning state champion, Brad Whitchurch, just can't go with McBain at the moment. He's got his hands full too, trying to fend off Jamie Rolls behind him in the 83 car. Then there's a bit of a gap back to Team Herbert, as I mentioned before. Brad Herbert still leading his old man in the 15 car and 28 respectively. Then right behind them we've got, I think it's the 26 car of Farrell trying to buy into that little argument as well. Bit of a gap back to Nathan Ubergang as the next one, back in about 7th place. But the lead, Hayden McBain, is getting away with it now. It's out to 2.8 seconds. It's almost the length of the back straight. He's a long way in front. This is probably the best race he's had all season.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's doing a really good job. Very close to putting a lap on the 7 car of Amy Padman. The lead is absolutely blown out now to just on 3 seconds. As we go yellow.
Spinner on turn 3.
Conditions out there, just too many disappointments in that game. As we go green for the restart, 6 laps completed, 24 to go. That's right, folks, it is a 30-lap feature here tonight for the wingless sprints. Out of turn 2, McBain leads the way. Brad Whitchurch sits right with him there. Then Jamie Rolls is 3rd. He's actually coming on pretty strong at the moment in the red 83 car in 3rd place. Brad Herbert's behind him. Then it's Tim Herbert, Matt Farrell, Chris Breen, Nathan Ubergang. Chris Gallagher's moved up to 9th. Then Peter Griffiths, Jeremy Smith, Brad Walkley and Amy Padman round out the field as our race leader exits turn 4. Lays down another lap. 8 completed, 22 to go. Fastest lap of the race is McBain, a 15.482 as he now starts to gap the field. We've got a spinner over there in turn 2.
Yeah, I think Nathan Ubergang's one of them, but he might have been taking evasive action. I think it was someone else that spun before him. Slot 7 for the restart, coming around with 8 laps down and 22 to go. Hayden McBain, he's done everything right so far tonight in the 17 car. Already opens up a bit of a gap down the back straight for the first time. He's pulled out 2 or 3 car lengths over the reigning state champion Brad Whitchurch in 24. Jamie Rolls is the next one in 83 behind him. Then it's Tim Herbert again. Brad Herbert has led his dad, Tim Herbert, 15 and 28 respectively for the entire 9 laps of them completed so far. Then a little bit further back behind them is Matt Farrell in 26. Chris Breen in the number 6 car back in 7th place. There's been no real change in the top 8 or 9 as they complete lap 10. Only a third of the way through this 30-lap final.
Chris Gallagher doing a good I'll try that again. Mouth, follow me. Chris Gallagher doing a good job in the 13 car. He's got himself up to position 8 now after starting at the rear of the field in the 13 car, the Jack Crossan owned machine. He's now challenging for 7th place, but it's McBain who just keeps opening up that gap. It's out to 1.3 seconds. He's done a really good job. Challenge coming now for 2nd place. Jamie Rolls having a big look on the inside of Whitchurch there in turn 3. Couldn't get it done. The Piranha Plant Hire machine of Whitchurch just hanging on to that 2nd place. Rolls right with him. Then back to Brad Herbert, who's managed to break the chain to his dad. Tim Herbert back in, 5th place. He's doing a good job, although he's now coming under pressure as well from Matt Farrell in 26. So little gap battles going on everywhere as we go yellow once again.
Yeah, spinner down there in turn 3. It might be Breeny again, I think. 2 seconds lead he had before the stoppage.
It was 2.8 at the last stoppage, and he got it back out to almost 2 seconds. As we go green, up into turn 1. I reckon someone hit the cone then.
Given where it's ended, it's about 50 metres past the start-finish line.
We yellowed, so I reckon someone is going to get a slap on the wrist. I don't know who. I've got no idea who did it. I just saw the cone on the move. But I'm sure some... We exit turn 3. McBain goes nice and early. Whitchurch tries to go with him. He hasn't been able to have the pace of McBain all night. What's he got for him over the last 18 laps of that one? That's right. There's 18 laps still to run. Their normal feature's 20 laps, so in those terms, they're only 2 laps into their feature, but they've already done a 12 across the line. McBain leads the way. Whitchurch does his fastest lap of the race, a 15.625. So maybe the Piranha Plan High machine starting to come on as we get to the mid part of this race. And maybe he will be able to challenge McBain as the race unfolds. Across the line they go. It's McBain, Whitchurch. Then you've got Rolls, who's been quiet in 3rd place, but too good for everybody else behind him. Tim Herbert is following his son there, Brad Herbert in 4th, Tim Herbert 5th. Gallagher's up to 6th now, so keep an eye on the black 13.
Yeah, I am. He just went out the back door. He made a mistake on turn 3 and he lost about 2 spots as a result of that, so undid all his own good work. But as you say, you thought Brad Whitchurch was starting to close that gap. Wishful thinking, I'd suggest, Andrew. The gap has gone out to over a second now. From fastest lap from Hayden McBain, so he's responded to the challenge. A 15.424 for McBain. The gap is now back to 1.3, so he's starting to sneak away from the reigning state champion Brad Whitchurch once again. So McBain down through the pit corner. He comes back onto the front straight. 1.3 last time across the start-finish line. This time it's out to 1.6, continuing to take more and more time out of Brad Whitchurch. He's only a couple of metres now, or a couple of car lengths in front of 3rd place, Jamie Rolls, who's maybe got a sniff of making a challenge for 2nd. The gap between 2nd and 3rd was only 0.7 of a second. But out in front, Hayden McBain now out to 1.9. It's almost out to that 2-second barrier again. We must be due for another stoppage.
18 laps completed, so 12 to go. Our race leader is still McBain. Across the line he goes. We'll have a look at the gap this time. That's Whitchurch. It's 2.3 seconds, so each time we go around, he just opens that gap a little bit more. Jamie Rolls is in 3rd, and he's not close enough to challenge 2nd place at the moment. But a good gap battle going on behind him between the 2 Herberts, Brad and Tim, father versus son. And it's Brad leading the way in that little battle at the moment. Jeremy Smith's trying to make a move forward as well. He's got himself up behind Tim Herbert now. Peter Griffiths behind him, then Gallagher, who has not been able to make up for that little indiscretion a couple of laps ago. 21 laps completed by our race leader, so 9 to go. For McBain, the gap is 2.6 seconds.
He doesn't look to be any danger at the moment, does he? He's just extending that lap with that gap with every lap that he completes. And unless he runs into a bit of lap traffic or some sort of a drama, I don't think there's any hope of anyone catching him. Brad Whitchurch, the reigning state champion, is now 3.1 seconds in arrears as McBain starting to carve his way through a bit of lap traffic here, and that car is in really great shape tonight. It seems to be going wherever he wants to. Looks like it's on rails and handling superbly at the moment, so the track conditions are really playing into his hand a little bit. The track is slick, the track is dry, it's a little bit black, but it doesn't seem to be worrying Hayden McBain too much at the moment. The gap is out to 3.7 seconds, getting further and further. Brad Whitchurch slipping behind now, and it's now out to 4.3. That is a massive lead by our leader, Hayden McBain. Whitchurch in 2nd place. The gap back to 2nd is about 1.7 seconds between 2nd and 3rd as well. So Jamie Rolls also losing touch with Whitchurch, and it seems a little bit of a procession at this stage with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, still a good battle going on back in the pack between Brad Herbert, Tim Herbert, Peter Griffiths and Chris Gallagher. There's a good little battle pack forming on the exit of turn 2.
Shame it's for 4th though, isn't it?
It doesn't matter. It's still a good battle that's going on. I'm been entertained by that for the last few laps. As they exit turn 4, we've completed 26 laps of this one, so 4 to go for our race leader. He leads by 4.9 seconds, so he has blown the field away. Now 3 laps to go for McBain. The length of the front straight and a little bit is the lead back to Brad Whitchurch. Jamie Rolls is 3rd, then Brad Herbert. Peter Griffiths now up into 5th place. Chris Gallagher, Jeremy Smith. Tim Herbert's gone back to 8th. Can you believe that? He was in 4th at one stage and really going strong. So he's had some dramas in the 28 car. Our race leader, where is he? Let's pick him up. He's completed 28. So he's got less than 2 laps to go. White flag now for our race leader. He's completed 29. And he leads by 5.99 seconds. He might as well say 6 seconds. We yellow. about half of that to go. We went yellow.
Yeah, I'll be very surprised if they declared this race. I'll tell you two reasons. One, because it's only 25 past 9. There it is, it's declared. Well, I was going to say that, and the fact that it's the final round of the Tractor and Diesel Spares Wingless Sprint Series, but there you have it. It's been declared. Hayden McBain the winner, Brad Whitchurch the second, Jamie Rolls third, then followed Brad Herbert, Peter Griffiths, Chris Gallagher, Jeremy Smith, Tim Herbert, Brad Walkley, Matt Farrell, Chris Breen, Amy Padman, and Nathan Ubergang. Nathan Ubergang, of course, didn't finish with a puncture, retired on lap 4. Fastest lap.